Hey everyone, welcome to a new tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you how to easily colorize any photo. So we're going to be turning this lovely picture right here into this right here. We're going to be using some denoising and colorizing it and making it look a lot better than this boring black and white photo. So let's go ahead and go back to Photoshop over here and zoom in on this by holding down Alt and the middle mouse scroll wheel. Okay. So how you basically do this is with the base layer that you have here, you can just use this tool right here. If you don't see that, make sure you right click on it and make sure it's the quick selection tool. And then what you're able to do, make sure you're on this layer by the way, is for example we can select his face right here, and Photoshop is really smart at like doing this whole kind of snapping kind of thing. So we can just try and select his face right here. And then if you hold down Alt, it will get rid of the things you do not want it to be selecting. So it basically does the opposite. It does this for most tools. So basically we're just kind of making a selection around his face. You can use the scroll wheel by the way with not holding down Alt to go up and down. And what we want to do is just select his face and not his hair. So you just want to drag kind of on here and make sure you get that. Notice we have his entire head, but we also have his hair selected and we don't want that. So we can hold down Alt, see how it changes from the plus to the minus, and just drag away till we can get rid of this. Also, we can change the size of our cursor by the way by going up there, and we can make this 10 for example to make this a bit easier, so that we can just hold down Alt and just drag away things that are not his hair. So about here. What we want. Let me see. Okay. Colorizing is basically guessing what kind of the colors are. It's kind of an educated guess. For example, his hair right here does not look very reflective, or it's not very, there's not that many white parts on it basically, so we basically assume that this would be probably brown hair, not blonde hair. Because if it was blonde hair, it would look a lot more, there would be a lot more like white kind of, if you know what I mean. So then what we can do is we can create a new layer, and we can go to the fill tool right here. We can just try and find in our swatches right here, a skin tone. So we can try and choose maybe this one, or that one right there, and just fill by clicking there. You notice this looks like crap. So what we can do is we can go down here and make sure you're on this layer right here and change it from normal to color, and it looks a lot better, although we're not done because we're not having an orange Oompa Loompa here. So with that same layer selected, let's go to Image Adjustments, Hue/Saturation, and bring this all the way over here. And you can just hit Colorize and it makes the color a little bit better. We'll probably change this a bit more in a bit, but what we can do is we can change some of these sliders to kind of give him some more skin. Alright, I'll probably change that later once I've done more of his head. Next, what we can do is we can start on his, let's do his hair. So let's go back to the first layer and then go back to that tool and then just select his hair. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure I only have his hair selected. Alright. So this is pretty good. And then we also want his eyebrows because his eyebrows are going to be the same color. So Photoshop is very nice at just doing this whole snapping thing. I'm very impressed at Photoshop's ability to do this, but let's go back to one right here and hold down Alt and try and cut out right there because the eyebrow does not go all the way to the side of the head here. Okay, so let's go and create another new layer, and we want to drag this on top of the face layer because the eyebrows are on top, and we want to go back to our fill tool. So let's go back to here, and then let's choose kind of like a brown, and then just paste that right there, and then go to normal, and then color. Okay, so let's go back here and let's zoom out a little bit. It's already looking a lot better than without color, as you can see. Although we will, of course, look at that, that's pretty funny looking. We will of course change this to make it look a lot better later. Although let's go to Image, Adjustments, Hue/Saturation, and hit Colorize just for now. Okay. So then let's start working on maybe his shirt right here. This looks like a pretty bluish kind of shirt. Kind of just an educated guess on what, this wouldn't be like pink, for example. So let's create let's actually go back to that layer, go back to the quick selection tool, and then let's just select this shirt right here. Although we don't want to select the tie because we don't want a blue tie here. Okay, zoom in with the Alt and zoom. Make sure we're not selecting his neck because we don't want him to have a blue neck. He's not a Smurf. Okay, I just want to get in there. So this looks pretty good. Although, yeah, alright. So let's create another new layer. Let's just drag that all the way back to the top and go back to our fill tool here, and let's just select a very kind of light pastel kind of blue, like that one. Paste that there and color. Okay. It's way too blue right now though, so let's keep that layer selected and go to Image, Adjustments, Hue/Saturation, and hit Colorize. And then actually for now I'm just gonna drag like saturation to like there maybe. Alright, so it's already looking a lot better, although the skin is pretty bad, so let's kind of fix that here. Let's go back to our skin layer, and then let's go to Adjustments, Hue/Saturation, and oh man, hit Colorize turns into blue. Let's see. One thing I like to do is pull up a tab of a skin color of someone. So let's say let's type in just a yearbook photo, and then let's just find someone. So what's like a nice skin color here? Choose this one maybe, or take one from Justin Bieber. How about that? So one really cool thing you can do with Photoshop is you can, let's see if I still have this in the same frame right here. It's kind of hard because I'm recording something that's smaller than my monitor. What you can do is you can move the recording thing, I guess. You can select the eyedropper tool. Let me just hit OK. You can select the eyedropper tool, and then you can drag this outside of the window and select something, as long as you can see down there, that we can select something that's outside of our window, so that's very helpful. So let's just try and drag this back. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this layer, and I'm going to change what we have. So where is... I'm just going to redo maybe that skin right there, so let's just delete that. Go back to here and go back to my quick selection tool, and then let's just take his face again. Okay, and his ear, not that. I'm also gonna get rid of the noise here soon, because we're almost done. This is very simple colorization. And then just kind of selects right there. Okay. So maybe if you got the skin color right on your first try, that would be good too. Okay, we don't want that down there. Alright. So then I'm just gonna go back to my fill tool and then get that other color we were using. Oops. Needed to make a new layer and drag that. We want it under the eyebrows. I believe the eyebrows are, not sure, we'll figure it out later. Put that right there, and then make that into color. I guess we could drag. Let's see. Yeah. Go to Image, Adjustments, Hue/Saturation, and now let's really work here. To kind of get this right. I'm gonna colorize for starters. I'm gonna pull up my image again. Try and match the skin color. Okay. So we need a bit more saturation here. Something like that. That's pretty good. And I think I like that. Okay. Alright, so now let's do the white in his eyes. Whoa, whoops. The white in his eyes right there. Let's go back to our first layer. Go back to our quick selection tool here. And actually, yeah. Let's just select the white in his eyes. It's better to do this with higher resolution photos, but it's not impossible. Okay, so that's basically the white where his eyes are going to be. So let's make a new layer. Let's make it above the skin. And let's select our fill tool and then just go to white and then paste that in there and then color. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We can do his eyes if you want. So let's go back to here and then let's go to our quick selection tool and then we can just kind of select his eyes. I don't want to go too much though. Maybe just kind of something very simple here. Not too much. Okay. Make a new layer above the skin. And actually above the white of the eyes too. And we can choose like a nice eye color. Eye colors are usually like, most common one in America is like brown or hazel or something like that. We could try and find a hazel. If they have a specific one, although I don't think they do. No. Alright. We can try a dark green and change this to color. Okay, that looks kind of like an alien. Although I don't really like green that much anyways for doing eye colors. So let's just choose like a brown and then make that into color. And go to image adjustments, hue/saturation, hit colorize. Okay. So that looks alright. Now let's do the background. So let's go back to our first layer here. And just like this. There isn't really that much to coloring as you can see, or colorization. Of course, when you're working with more detailed things, you can change colors of reflections and, you know, really match skin tones. But the more you do it, the more you'll kind of get used to it. So now we have all of that selected. We have the background. Let's create a new layer. And let's make that go all the way to the top. And let's go and get the fill tool. And then yearbook photos are usually like a nice pastelish kind of blue, I mean. So let's kind of choose maybe like that one. Paste that there and then hit color. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm really liking this one. And then what we can do is get rid of our noise. So let's select everything here. Right click and then hit, I believe it's merge layers. Yep, there we go. And then also we can try one more thing. We can try go to adjustments here and adding a curve. And click on the black right here. So let's choose something that will be very black. Kind of put that there if you want to have some more highlights, as you can see. Or yeah, and then we can go to the white one maybe. That's the most white one, that's middle gray, and that's black of where the whitest and darkest places will be. So let's choose maybe the eyes. Nah, alright. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep it like this actually though. I don't really want to mess with the whites right now, I think it's pretty good. So then I'm just going to both select those actually again and just merge those. Okay, so now let's go to, I believe it's filter. Filter, noise, reduce noise. Alright, we have a lot of things we can choose here. You want to kind of have a balance between having your little fine details and having a lot of denoise. So, for example, right here I have a strength of like, put a strength of 10. You see the higher I make it, the more of the noise we get rid of, but we also lose a lot of the very small details, although we don't have that many small details in this picture. And then we can do preserve details maybe a bit, but you see the more I put that up, the more details we lose, but since this isn't a very detailed photo, we don't really need to worry that much about that. Reduce color noise is basically reducing random pixels that are not the same color. Like for example, if we had like a pink kind of noise right there, and we don't want that because we have like more of a skin color here. So you really just want to kind of balance these. And then sharpen details is just kind of, as you can see, the higher I put this, the kind of weirder it looks as well, but keeping more sharp details. So I'm just going to keep that all the way down because I think that we want the least amount of noise because we don't really have a too detailed photo right here. Removing JPEG artifacts is basically removing those kind of like blocky kind of lines that you get from JPEGs. So let's hit advanced maybe? No, we just want to hit OK. Alright, so then we have our photo here and it's basically done. There's a big difference between the black and white version. If I go ahead and pull it up, let me go get the original, this one right here. So here's our original, and then here's our colorized, and as you can see there's a big difference. Looks very nice, and that's basically all there is to colorizing photos. It's not that complicated. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and have any questions, please leave a comment below and subscribe. Thank you.